to Class Culture. And we are doing a word of worship live. And we're watching football. And we're cooking. And we're wrapping gifts. And we're getting ready for the next 7 days, boo-boo. We gonna bring it. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, this is a word of worship on Sunday, December 19th. Shout out to the future and beyond. It will be Christmas. What? The day after, right? So, welcome back to Class Culture. I hope you had a good evening. I know I did. Yes, we are always in flux. And thank you for the kind words and the beautiful thumbs up. Yeah, I was busy. Yeah, last night doing what? Uh, Natural things like being a grandmother to a beautiful a grandson on the beautiful planet earth in the beautiful seasons of the Christ. Now I think the first day of winter is either today, tomorrow, or tonight, or something. um uh Yesterday or the day before, a beautiful full moon, right? So we're always out and about. After we're done here with a word of worship, I'm gonna go and get a little bit more shopping in because people who have jobs got to go to work. And I felt like I just wanted to come live and talk about it. What are we going to talk about today? I was a little nervous putting it in ahead of time because I don't like to show people what we're going to talk about first, because you got to come over here and join the the you got to participate. You got to join the word of worship. You got to get in on it. So we're going to talk about tradition and culture. um I like to view the Bible as a resource. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to be Christian. You don't have to be nothing. Just smart. Just hungry for knowledge. Just interested in what the word's got to say. It has nothing to do with you being good or bad or a sinner or being judged or anything like that. So I want to thank everybody that's been rocking and rolling with me. Hi, Pam. Why would you not be? Welcome to Class Culture. I want everybody to check out the playlist. Now, I shared it up here. Here's a word of worship playlist. It's over on the community tab. It's always existed. I've always enjoyed coming over here and putting my take on certain, you know, um, scriptures and meanings, but I back it up with what? Knowledge, definitions, um, just a discussion. So maybe in 2022, because we have something new for a word of worship, we will get people to participate some more. So that's why I say, you know what, the last two words of worship for 2021, I'm gonna come on. And we're going to do it live and in living color. Of course, you're welcome here. Everybody's welcome. Don't hate, participate. Open all your devices, because 1,000 lives are going on YouTube. Football is on. CNN is on. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to the replay crew. Shout out to the future and beyond. Hey, Skybox, I see you. I adore you. I appreciate you. Why? Because we love the balcony view. Enjoy this one. A shout out to all the new subscribers. Thank you. Shout out to Gigi Darling. Closer and closer we inch to our 1,000 videos. Closer and closer we inch to our 500,000 views. I mean, we got it going on over here. I'm going to keep on this path, and nothing is gonna knock me off my perch. I hear lots of things are going on, but this is my focus right now. hit all the reminder buttons on my upcoming shows and join in on that fun. Right now, we're focused on a word of worship. Shout out to LSA. Shout out to the Incognegros. Shout out to the you know what's that pay for you know what for free on Patreon and Zoom. See, I'm going to keep it clean. I'm going to keep it clean because I love it when YouTube, shout out to YouTube and Google, pays Gigi Darling. I be in the green. I be getting my money, honey. Yeah, my cash. So yeah, I love being a content creator and I love talking about whatever I want to talk about. And hashtag 25 is always in effect. Now we have the vision board scheduled for the 23rd. There's a very important reason for that. And the day before that, I'll post the playlist over on my community tab to give you sort of a head start. But I gave you a head start a year ago. So even if you're new to it, sit back and watch. Go get your supplies and return next year. And you have the whole 12 months of 2022 to prepare. Shout out to the church bells. But yeah, I enjoy this time of year. It is the holies, is what I refer to it. I'm a Coptic, a Christian by tradition. That's what we're going to talk about, traditions and culture. And our Christmas is Epiphany in January. So my Christmas day is not the 25th, but I don't care. I celebrate everything. We got birthdays, we have parties, we have a Christmas, and we have Epiphany. Yeah, and all of that. So that's why I don't really stress too much. Shout out to Vlogmas. I shared my um, playlist over there on the community tab. So it just gives me, right? Hey, Couture Bay, welcome, my love. It's it's interesting because when you meet people, they're on their level and they don't know how to move, in and out and through. They can't migrate other places, and I feel like that's a shame. And that's what a word of worship is for me. I could go where I want. I can read what I want. I could talk about what I want. I can engage, especially being an American. Can you imagine? A lot of people on planet Earth are citizens of countries where they don't have our freedoms. I think it's a shame that people don't. Shout out to the airplane going off. It's a lot going on in San Francisco, yeah. But yeah, I feel like it's a shame that people don't rock and roll with the freedoms and the liberties and the traditions and the cultures that are afforded to you, that are passed down to you, that are celebrated, right? And you live a limited life of, I don't know, a pain, hurt. You feel left out, you feel lonely, you feel sad. I don't want that, not from my heart to go. No ma'am, no sir. So let's get on with the topic. Now if you want to come along with me, say, is Gigi darling, is what she's saying true? Where'd she get that at? What happened? Well, all you got to do is look down in the description box. As a content creator, I take advantage of everything that Google, StreamYard, as I call it, and the YouTube gives to me, and I utilize it. That's why my channel is healthy. That's why we ain't never had no strikes. That's why nothing had ever been taken down. No, they'll try, Couture Bay. I just make that boo boo unlisted and I still get my money, honey. Cash. Okay. So, what we going to talk about today? Now, I'm also going to show you because I got in conversation with a family member. They were like, well, you always show the pronunciation, but you don't show it. And I'm like, okay.
Colossians.
Colossians. We're going to show that Google. I'm like, well, can't they put in Colossians pronunciation?
Colossians.
She says, well, they can, boo boo, but remember your internationals. Hey, boo. They might not have the link like you had said. I said, oh, they gather me, Couture Bay, my family. I don't need no sector to gather me. I got family members that gather me. So I love you dearly, and you are my heart and soul. So yeah, they gather me, and I love that about my family. So yeah, we're going to talk about a word of worship. This is down in the description box. So maybe in 2022 and beyond, when this version of class culture has come, all good things come to an end, and we've moved on to the next level of a word of worship. I will still have this down in the description box where you can follow along. But yeah, we're going to talk about Colossians 2:8. We're going to talk about Colossians pronunciation. We're going to talk about an epistle. We're going to talk about tradition, verses about traditions in the Bible, culture according to the Bible. What is the right side of a church called? And somebody going to be like, huh? Uh-huh. There's parts of the church that it has meaning, it has purpose, it has tradition. Sometimes people not that they take things for granted, but they don't realize you are among so much knowledge and spirituality, but they don't recognize it. Couture Bay. I want people. And Pam is in here with her Google eyes. I love it. She recognized that she could come on in and sit down and listen to what we have said and what we're gonna say. Yeah, but when you are in a church, I want you to also go in a church in the building and figure out, well, what are you among? What's the purpose? What's the reason? I used to want to be an architect until I knew I don't like drafting. I said, no, ma'am. So I just became I appreciate, structure and architecture and art and things like. Then I moved in the realm of art, right? But I was like, mm-mm. But I know everything, parts of buildings and churches and the outsides and the insides. And I thought, oh, this is in the vein of tradition and culture. So that's why I put that in there. And then we have one, two, three, four um Webbies. We're going to look at those together. I only have one overlay of the book, the scripture of the book, and the verse. But yeah, and then I have my hashtags and all that good stuff. Everything is down below in the description box, and I also have the whole playlist. So catch up. Yeah, catch up, hit the playlist, look at all the shows that I've done before, and enjoy. And I appreciate you. Let me know you're there. And then all my social media links and all that good stuff. So, welcome again, a word of worship, tradition, and culture. And let's get on with the show. And then I'll see you later tonight. Just gonna hit them reminder buttons, boo boo, because yeah, we got a lot to do. So yeah, I got some good rest, and I'm sorry, I'm claiming it. I'm not messing with y'all. I'm not messing with you in 2022. I got to keep it tight and right. Yeah. So yeah, and over here, as we always say, we keep it 100. Sorry, not sorry. Not only does that works, it helps keeps the demons away. It helps keeps the dullards away. There's my Rico the brat. Mwah. Welcome, my love. It helps keep the demonic away. The devil gonna stay mad, and good for him. Then we'll know where he is. That's why he shout and throw things and lie, just so you can know where he is. That's where you direct the prayer and the banishments at. Yeah, that's how we're gonna rock and roll. But yeah, beware. Take care, lest there be someone who leads you away as prisoners. Thank you, boo. Don't let nobody get you. Okay, just because they over there, you ain't got to go. By means of his philosophy and idle fancies, following human traditions and the world's crude notions. Can I say that again? Crude notions instead of following Christ. Because it's a lot of Christians on today, Rico, that ain't doing that. Okay, so be careful. And that's why I wrote over there on the community tab above my cute little bear. I'm glad you guys enjoyed him because I sure did last night. Be still. That was my mom's favorite thing to do, right? I mean, really, I can be a Buddhist and appreciate the teachings of the Bible. You do not have to engage in the religion itself. We can celebrate each other. I can appreciate parts of the Quran. I have. You know, this is what a word of worship is about. It's not come on over here and be a Christian. It's not come on over here and get rid of all your prior beliefs or traditions. No, it's like let's look at what they have to say. And look, you don't you could be an alien, but had learned the whole dictionary. But and you can read this and go, well, that makes sense. Don't get led, and don't become a prisoner, and don't do things that are idle. And that's what I've been saying lately in the word of worship. It's like, why are people trying to make up new things and it was already written, and it was like 2,000 years ago that they wrote it, and there were things prior to that. There were traditions and cultures prior to that. But the book it's thing. You know, the Bible, it's a thing. It's there. It's a part of every living thing on planet Earth that has a belief system. Whether they read it or not, they are aware of it. Yeah. So beware and be aware. Both, I would say. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's good. Yeah, 'cause I wanted to before we hit next Sunday, I was like, that is basically what I've been talking about all year long regarding a word of worship. Because I think a lot of people are afraid to even touch the Bible because they're like, I'm a sinner. No, you a human being on planet Earth. Chill. Be careful. And don't let nobody tell you what you are. Only Christ can tell you. Only someone who is a practiced minister, someone who you feel in. If I feel that my pastor is a bag of chips and all of that, that's just me. I can't make my brother, my sister, my aunt, my coworker believe that. You have to believe it. Don't even let that pastor tell you, I am this and I'm that. If they don't get you in your soul and in your heart, he has failed. She has failed. They have failed. They haven't done enough. But be curious, be purposeful, seek so you can feel like you are a part of whatever religion, whatever belief you want to be with. But don't go along to get along. I want to sit next to my pretty in whatever establishment, say if we're together, and we both get it. I don't want her sitting next to me going, oh, I'm just here because you here. Because I hear a lot of people go, oh, I'm a Baptist because my mama was a Baptist. It's like, huh? Well, what like can we talk about it? Well, it's the Bible. Yeah, I read the Bible. Well, tell me, let's have a discussion. Yeah, beware. They talking to you too, the Christians. Yeah, because it's Christ Mass. So that's why I'm talking. Now, in 2022, we're going to talk about a bunch of religions because I study all religions, you know, and liturgical practices and theology. I mean, I studied theology for 4 years, right? And it was just interesting. I never, one never stuck to me, and I never stuck to one. I was like, I'm just going to be a good citizen and enjoy everything and try to, some of the rules apply to all, right? But no, don't feel like, oh, I can't go there because I've been to jail for 10 years. No, that's the person that he wants to teach to is you. But be careful. Don't go along just because, oh, look at all those people going over there. And oh, they look good and all their church hats and all that. And oh, and you get in there and it's a whole it show. Yeah, yeah, you don't be careful. And this is what this verse talks about. How you doing, pretty? Right? People be misunderstanding the Bible. He doesn't want you to worship him. It's telling people about themselves and to step in their power to be the God they are. And he created you. He created you. He created you to come into that teaching, right? Everybody can die. Jesus died. But what are you going to do here while you're here? So take care. Let's be someone who leads you away as prisoners by means of philosophy. Because people like to say, I'm a philosopher, but be careful. Well, what are we doing? Are we philosophizing? I just made that word up. Or are we looking at what's written? Don't undo what's written. It's there already. If it doesn't do for you, that's good, but it's there. Don't try to undo what's there. It's a tradition. And if that tradition doesn't work for you, it's okay. But don't try to demean it. Don't try to diminish it. Don't try to change it. I don't try to see. That's another thing about me. I'm not trying to convince nobody of nothing. I'm just saying, let's go. Let's listen, right? Let's go. Let's listen. Let's pay attention. Let's feel like we're a part of something. And if it doesn't feed you, that's why I always share the list of all the verses, because you might not be into this verse, but you might get to another verse. And it's like, you understand from that point of view. And that's good too. But don't be led by philosophies. I'm sorry, philosophy, and like we will use the word religious, you know, organized religion. There you go. Philosophies and organized religions are just two different animals. And I love it when I see people trying to pit one against the other. I'm like, I'll talk philosophy all day, but my spirit and my soul, philosophy don't feed my soul. That's why I do like reading the Bible, because it feeds my soul. These men and women walked around planet Earth with sandals and no toilets. They didn't take showers. They walked. Every once in a while, they would join a caravan, because they would go to different countries and spread the what? The word. You know what I'm saying? You bless. Oh, good. Good. Yeah, they need to tap into themselves. That's right. So yeah, let's get on with it. And thank you for the share. Clyde Diva shared the video. Thank you, boo boo. Just beware. So let me read it and then we'll go on to the next. Thank you for joining me. Take care lest there be someone who leads you away as prisoners by means of his philosophy and idle fancies. We know what idle fancies are. I mean, come on, we don't need to have that discussion. If you don't know what it is while I'm talking, Google it. Yeah, that don't get me either. But some people fall for the okie doke. It's okay. Following human traditions and the world's crude notions. Oh, well, look at you over there. Thank you. Look at you over there talking about a word of worship. Exactly. You know. Mhm. Instead of following Christ. Well, what are y'all doing over there? Because then, I mean, I'm Taoist, but I spend an hour every Sunday, or if I can't do it on a Sunday, if I'm working during the 7-day week, and I sit down and get mine. Are you okay? And they go there for gathering. Church is just for gathering. It's all. It's just for gathering. But again, I want you sitting there for the same reason why I'm sitting there. Ask somebody next time you go somewhere, why are you here? Why are you here? What is your purpose for being here? They won't be able to explain because they're followers. Don't be a follower. Be a listener, an understander. Um, and know exactly why you're there. Not, oh, I want to see what he has to say. Well, I don't know about y'all, because I told you my mom's family was Baptist, my dad's family was Catholic. So wherever we were, they would print out ahead of time what they were going to talk about. They would put it in the program before so you could get ready. They would tell you why this and that, where to go, who was going to preach it, and all of that, right? So you felt included. And I remember my mom would go, because they would have different groups in the Bible, in the church. And my mom was, I think it was the senior choir. But even before they got up to practice to sing, they would talk about what the pastor was going to talk about too. And then they would tie in their songs into it. So they prepared and they talked about it. Pastor wasn't there. These are just normal people without a leader talking about what they were going to talk about. And a lot of things I would sit and listen to. That's how I would get the bravery, because people think you have to be in a church to read the Bible, or people think you got to be Christian to read the Bible. No, I, I just felt brave enough to open the Bible and read it for myself. I felt brave enough to dissect what it meant. I felt brave enough to make a word of worship. That's what I felt. So I have to understand it first before I step into the church for fellowship and even listen to the pastor, the priest, the pope. I can go to any church and enjoy it because I understand the tradition and the culture, and I enjoy it and I participate. I go to weddings, I go to bar mitzvahs, I almost went last night. A friend invited me to a Chinese celebration. Well, I was very it's pandemic, y'all. And I went, and it was a crowd of people, and I didn't know, half the people, but it was other people, other guests there. But it was beautiful because you're amongst people, a gathering. And it was about just being blessed and talking about their accomplishments. And it was sort of like a big union gathering. I was nervous because half the people didn't have masks on, y'all. But it was beautiful. And I felt good. Not that I subscribed to it. I was just there amongst them, you know, and it felt good. But I knew why I was there, and I felt like I wanted to be a part of it, and it felt good. Okay. So, having said all of that, you need to feel good about why you're where you want to be. Okay. So, let's look it up. Let's get it. Let's go. And then afterwards, if somebody wants to hit the link to come up, because I got to focus and talk about it, I invite you on up. Yeah, to feel good about being brave enough to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Now, we're not here to be disparaging or anything like that. I am here to talk about it. I'm not here to talk about anything uh, I'm not here to slight it. I'm not here to judge it. I mean, you should already know that because I've been making a word of worship for a long time. Yeah, that's not my purpose. It's a lot of YouTubers out there that talk against this or that. That's not my purpose. I'm not interested in that. I like peace and harmony. Okay, and it's during the holies, right? Christmas is next week. All right, or this week, Saturday. Yeah. So even here, when you put in here it is again. hmm When you put in, give me a second. Yeah,
Colossians.
Colossians. Even when you put in Colossians 2:8, and you look at images. Hey my Janet, absolutely. And they have to do the studying. They have to do it. And that's another thing. That's why I tell people, don't try to convince other people. They have to find it. You have the knowledge. They have to accept it. They have to find. That's what makes congregations richer because everybody is on the path of knowledge and understanding. Ain't nobody trying to rip pages out the Bible and burn them and all that. Ain't nobody got time for that. We're coming to an understanding about what is had been said, what is written. You know, I loved this one. It says, take care lest there be someone. I was like, bring it. Who leads you always as prisoners by means of his philosophy and idle fancies, following human traditions and the world's crude notions instead of following Christ. So, it's a visual there, you know. And I just like the word be rooted, build up in him, established in the faith. So we're going to get more into affirmations, even though I already do affirmations. But I encourage other people do affirmations, and here is more of the verse. And they're different based on what type of Bible you read, you know. And then this one is a good one. And it's going to use different words and stuff like that. And it's okay. But yeah, it's when you look it up and you put in images, this is what you're going to find. Okay. And this is what I love too, all of the other goodness that you find there. All right. So what's the next thing? Oh, yeah. Shout out to the family member. Okay. They were like, show the pronunciation. I'm like, okay. And everything is down below in the description box.
Colossians.
Colossians. It's just the pronunciation. Now, why Paul wrote the Colossians, or to the Colossians were people of a place. Okay, it's an actual town, which is now in modern Turkey. Okay, the epistle, which is a letter to the Colossians, proclaim Christ to be the supreme power over the entire universe. Now, pay attention. You have to go back in time. Do not take your 2021 brain and apply it to what is being said right there. You have to focus, right? I know. They were like, well, you say it and you don't show it. I'm like, well, did you look it up? Okay. But yeah, I guess that's the beauty of being a filmmaker, a writer, a cosplayer, a costumer. We have to go back in time. We have to be there. Well, why is he writing a letter? Well, that's what they did. They didn't have computers. Are you okay? They traveled. When you went somewhere, it was your 2 feet and your 2 legs and whatever you could carry. And you were on a prayer and a blessing, a boo boo, because you every night would fall and you would have to find somewhere to lodge, eat. And if hopefully they were nice and you didn't get your head cut off, they would give you some water. And the well wasn't dry and it wasn't polluted with a old nasty virus, and you didn't die along the way. This was real, real. How about you wake up tomorrow and walk from, how about if I'm you, okay? How about I walk from San Francisco to LA starting tomorrow morning? Yeah, then you'll appreciate what these men and women had to go through. I'm going to get them straight, Mama Janet. Yeah. When you're reading something, know what you're reading. Pay attention. It's cold in San Francisco right now. I go to my car, I park, I run to the stove, I go stove, I get back in my car, I come back home, I run in the house. Sometimes they were out in the elements for hours. Pay attention. Appreciate what's being shared, taught, given. I'm sorry, that's how passionate I am. I pay attention to these people. I think Paul out there writing letters, talking to people. People was walking by him, not even listening. He didn't care. He was on his assignment. Had something to say. Okay. You ever been to Turkey? Probably not. Some of y'all in some of these inner cities can't make it down the street without getting a bullet in your arse. Ooh, I'm not supposed to curse. Okay. God be working with me all the time. The epistle to the Colossians proclaimed Christ to be the supreme power, code over the entire universe. So he was spreading the word. That's what he believed, and that's was his mission. And urged Christians to lead godly lives. The letter consisted of 2 parts. First, a doctrinal section, and then a second regarding conduct. So they were doing the same thing that anybody in a organized society does by tradition and culture. Behave yourself. There's rules, you know. And then they say where he was. Well, he was in Turkey. Okay, and all of this is down below in the description box. So I like to build up to the point and the matter at hand. We just ain't gonna talk about good or bad or evil or not. No, we got enough time to do all of that. We're not even talking about evil right now. We're talking about culture and tradition. Okay. Oops. That was a little spoiler alert. Okay. So again, epistle is a letter, a poem, or other literary work in the form of a letter or series of letters. A book of the New Testament in the form of a letter from an apostle. We all know who the apostles are. Google it. Okay. Catch up. An epistle. So every time you see what epistle, it's a letter, right? Is a writing directed or sent to a person or group of people. It was a letter, an actual letter. We all write every day. Now, here's a little plug. Art and craft therapy. I'm going to be doing some more writing. I'm going to be doing some calligraphy, all that good stuff. Because that is in the tradition of um the apostles, that is in the tradition of uh, religion, that is in the tradition of the Bible itself. If it wasn't for people writing things down, we would have never known about a Queen Sheba or African queen, right? It is a war zone. It's sad. And they had to be very brave. Just think about it. Little townships, little thiefdoms, little tribal, whatever situations. A lot of people didn't go nowhere. You were considered to be very wise and learned and traveled, and you would come back. That was like a ooh, if you made it back. It's usually an elegant and formal didactic letter. The epistle genre of letter writing was common in ancient Egypt. So, all of you African American, black, whatever you want to call yourself, woke, it's an Egyptian tradition as well. It's part of the Egyptian culture. How about that? hmm And then they go on to do, more, 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 more. hmm And then they also talk about, right? Yeah, I get them. I get them where they live, according to them. They also talk about the difference of a gospel and epistle, right? Because some people think the gospel is like the whole Bible. It's like, no, there are letters in the Bible and there are gospels. Your Matthew, your Mark, your Luke. Is it airplane day today? I mean, I know I live near air base, but y'all could have waited. Can y'all hear that? Okay. Those are gospels, while epistle is letters, in the book of the New Testaments. So we're building on the facts and the knowledge. Very much so, duality, very much so. In order to fight the bad, you got to have the knowledge to do it. In order to bring about a good, or what we like to say, a change, you got to be ready. Because the devil know who ain't ready, don't he? Okay, did I say that? Yes, he does. He know you ain't ready. You got to get ready. He tried to come at Gigi, but no, we ready over here. We always ready. So now we looked at epistle. Now let's look at tradition. Again, I can walk up to people. I do my little. That's probably why my family be on me. They be like, okay, you be asking us questions. Now we're going to gather you. And I asked her, I said, what is the definition of tradition? And I can't give it to her. Like, we know what it is, but to actually give the definition is a heck of a thing, right? A tradition is a belief or behavior passed down. It's something passed down. And in my thinking, if it's passed down, it's something that people accept, right? The masses follow. They like it. It works. It feeds their soul. their energy, their mind, their thoughts, their purpose. There are gathering. Like I said, I went to a Chinese gathering. Okay. At first, I went in the restaurant, and no, I did not. I dare not take pictures. That's intrusive. I walked into the restaurant. On the bottom floor, there was nothing. I was like, "Is this the right place?" And the one guy pointed upstairs. And then I went up, had a great time, and I went downstairs. I left before the end because that's just what I kind of do. And the gentleman was still there. He was so happy. He was like, "Thank you for joining us." He said, "Oh, one love." And we did the elbow thing, and told me he liked my mask because I had BLM on it. I think it's important to embrace a group of people on planet Earth where people are trying to condemn them. Remember, it was just so disgusting that we had an individual in the White House, not right now, that was trying to blame a culture on a virus. That's disgusting to me. No, ma'am. And so it was just a wonderful evening. I don't have to be Chinese to be there. I don't have to be whatever religions was going on. I just wanted to be a part of the fellowship. And I did that and got my food and came home. I sure did. It was only an hour. Yesterday was a wonderful day. I slept, I worked, I ate, I went to an event, I got to bathe my bear. I came on. We had some talk, we had some laugh, and I went to bed. Yeah, that's like an example of my day. I was in my community amongst a culture. I was with my family celebrating. I was with my heart to go. Yeah, that's how I live my life. I try to get it all in there. That's tradition. And you know who taught me that? My mother. Therefore, it is a tradition. A tradition is a belief or behavior passed down within a group or society with symbolic meaning or special significance with origins in the past. Like if I miss my mom, I'll do something she taught me, you know. And when the person invited me, I was like, "Oh, okay." And I thought about it. I said, "Well, you know what? Instead of going home, sitting on a couch and not doing nothing. Okay, love to you and your sister and your family. Thank you for stopping by, my love." I just did it and I'm so happy I did it. Because I would have missed out on that 1 hour representing, right? There was other black people there, but still. And I would have let my friend down too. She was so happy. She was like, "Come on over. Thank you for showing up." And I met everybody and we sat and we talked and, I had a little light. I came after they had the meal and all of that. But, had some coffee and then that was it. Then I left. Yeah, that's what tradition is. And that's also with religion and the Bible and your family and community. That's all I'm doing. I'm not even a Christian and I can get with this. It matters to me. And then they say here, theology, a doctrine believed to have divine authority through, though not in the scripture, but it's a doctrine. You know, when Jesus was Jesus, he was Jewish. And then Jesus passed and his traditions were passed down and it became Christianity. He wasn't in no church. What did he do? Stand on rocks and travel to this town and that town and did this and that, So the theology grew from it. Hey, boo, how y'all doing? Welcome. So he was doing sort of kind of the same thing, right? And something grew from it. Well, on the family level, harmony, love, devotion that grows from traditions, whichever ones you choose. And whether you're Catholic, Baptist, Lutheran, you grow through it as well. It feeds your soul. That's all. That's it. That's all. I'm never mad at somebody because they're a certain religion. I never understood that. I don't think that's okay. And be careful. You going to run into some karma there. So let's look up verses about traditions in the Bible. Welcome, everybody. WYSM Productions Inc. in the house. Welcome. Now, if y'all, do you go by something else? I think you go by something. Just remind me, because I get sidetracked. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the gold hearts. And don't feel like you always have to attack. I see people on the attack all the time. It's like, well, why? Well, what happened? And don't blame one bad experience on the whole thing. I mean, that's going a bit too far. So when you pull up verses about traditions in the Bible, you're going to get a bunch of stuff. Do your research. But this is what I'm going to talk about. And that's okay. Hank Jr. There it is. Hank Jr. Love it. Is the Christian church the tradition? In the Christian church, the tradition is joined not only to teach, oh, let me focus. Look, football is so, I'm so silly. In the Christian church, the tradition is joined not only to the teachings of Jesus and the story of his life as prophet and teacher, but also to the central event of the history of salvation. I'm going to stop there because what I see a lot of times in modern time, okay, we ain't back there. We're back here in 2021, almost 2022. What people like to do is undo what's already said. Well, then they already wrote that. Don't do that. It's about what he said. Good grief. I get so exasperated. I'm like, why do you understand it in the first place? It's about take religion out of it. Read Hansel and Gretel. You read it, it's about them. It ain't about you. I tell people that in my life all the time because they'll join a conversation, and we've seen them do it in the YouTube, haven't we? We'll see people go up on panel and make stuff about them. We'll see people in the chat make it about them. We'll kind of see a content creator talk about what another content creator went through and make it about them. It ain't about you. Focus. That part gets me so crazy. It's like it's not about you. Sometimes I think people didn't forgot about the man himself. Huh? Ain't you called a Christian? Not a Stephanie Ann, or it's about him. Well, who we talking about now? What happened? When did you change the subject? That was awfully quick. Yeah, it's about him and his story and his teachings. And then it says, but also to the central event of the history of the salvation, which his life, passion, death, and resurrection represent. I think that's genius because the tradition will remain the same if you adhere to that. Apply that to your life. Speak about you. That's why I said the person next to me, you can't speak on my experience, even though you're sitting next to me and we're enjoying the same event. You got to speak on it from yourself, from your soul, from your being. And that's what I learned about theology. And I got it. I get it. But I don't, I'm just past that certain situation or conversation where people are trying to convince me otherwise, or they're trying to confirm what they know and don't know. I'm like, that's fine, but can we get back to his teaching? Can you respect the fact that he died for you? Whether whether you accept him being the Son of God or not, he was a whole man that was murdered, and it was a whole a squabble. How about that over around there in the Holy Land? We can break it down, we can have fun with it, but you still got to keep it 100 and keep it real. It's about him. It ain't about you. And I think that's what the Some people are scared to be Christian or any religion. Well, I don't want to do that. I don't want it. Well, why? Does it make you feel away? And that's the point. The Bible it's an amazing thing because it just like art. When you look at it, it make you feel away, don't it? That's the whole point. It's about his passion, his death, resurrection, namely to the resurrected Christ, who in henceforth present. Now you could read the rest because it's good. So that's what they're talking about. The tradition. You know, a tradition is a belief or behavior, again, passed down within a group or society with symbolic meaning or special significance with origins in the past. And he meant it to be that way. He meant it to be that way, right? It's used to indicate the quality of a piece of information being discussed. A quality. A quality. Well, I would say the quality of the Bible is real. Whether your religion, I'm sorry, not sorry. You cannot get around it. It's real. It's about quality. It's interesting, you know. But a lot of people just kind of they go wayward. You know, they go wayward and they go angry and they get emotional and all of that. I ain't got time for that. I just look at it from a I don't know, informative point of view. I'm not trying to judge. I'm not trying to do all of that. You know. So when you put in a culture according to the Bible, and I don't know why I'm spelling wrong, y'all. Okay, here we go. A culture according to the Bible, right? All right, here we go. Now this brings it sort of home because tradition, comes out of a culture. To me, it's sort of interchangeable, sort of kind of. But I wanted to make it part of this because we are right now. Everyone is celebrating the tradition um, and the religious tradition of Christmas gathering. That's why the church is important, so people can come together and gather. You just don't want to celebrate in your house. You want to go out and include everybody. We're humans. We're supposed to come together. So that's easy, right? It's more fun too. Culture defined. Culture is the secondary environment that man builds upon the creation, comprising language, habits, ideas, beliefs, customs, social organization, inherited artifacts, technical processes, and values. Like my friend, did she look at my skin and say, "Oh, I'm not going to invite her"? Did she look at my culture and say, "I'm not going to invite her"? Did she go in her judgment box and say, "Oh, she don't know our traditions. I'm not going to invite her"? You feel me? Are you woke? I don't know. I hear a lot of people saying, "Well, they can't come." I hear a lot of people saying, "Well, don't go over there." I hear a lot of people saying, this person is that and this and that, and don't go over there because they only got this and that. They don't have nothing over there. Come over here. Well, your philosophy is philosophy poor. There is no quality there. You have no evidence. You don't know the meaning of being a Christian, religious, or I would even debate and or argue wise. Because the person that has the least probably needs it more. And people always want to act like they know better. How can you know better if you are what? Going against somebody that might need your assistance. If you, what good is knowing better if you can't give it to everybody? Be careful. Be careful, be still, and beware. Because I can read like a you know what. I could teach, I could bring, I could show, I can do all of that. But every once in a while, you're tested. And when that person comes around, Rika, you know me and you ready. But the masses, they are not ready. And they get caught up and they get hemmed up. What if I took that person that had everything on planet Earth and took them down round town to the hobo side of town? What would they do? Would they lose it or would they get to work? Well, Christ got to work. Okay? They want to be a Christ like. I don't remember Christ having lots of possessions. I don't even think Christ had a job. Uh-oh. Right? I think he ran around town with what 12 friends. Hashtag 25. So be careful what you're saying. Number one, I see you. I'm not sure about nobody else, but I see you. And be careful because sometimes people might come, come around Rico in his real life, and they might be on the wrong side of things. But Rico is kind-hearted, and he might say, "Well, come on over here and let's discuss angels and demons, or whatever." And if they don't want to, right? Here you go. Right? Not all angels are good, and not all demons are bad. Exactly. If they don't want to listen, then what you need me for? Why are you preaching to me? Why are you judging me? Why are you looking at me? Why are you lying on me? I'm crazy, right? Why do you need to, you're Christian and all humans and all children of God and all people are good and all, but what happened? If you and me are engaged in something and you're going non-Christian on me, it don't make sense. Because I like to see people say, "Oh, I believe in Christ," or "I like this, I like that person." But when you roll up on them, "Oh, you're this, you're that, you're that, you're this, you're this, you're that," it's like, well, wait a minute. Who are you, judge and jury? Is that? Did your culture teach you that? Is that a tradition of yours? Because based on my beliefs, that's wrong. That you're being nasty. You ain't got no good ideas. You ain't got no good habits. You ain't got no good customs. You can't even socialize with one person. You don't even show receipts. Your language is bad. Jesus, he wasn't mean. Paul wouldn't have got in the Bible if he was acting like you. Christ wouldn't have a whole religion named after him if he was acting like you. You're not okay. You're not okay. So when I accept a custom or a tradition, it's who I am. Whether I am being naughty or nice, what's fair is fair, what's wrong is wrong. And standing in your own truth sometimes is hard for a lot of people. They just can't do it. Or they won't even stand in their own traditions. They mama, daddy were Baptists and they want to be other than that. Well, it's almost like breaking a vow to me. It's like, well, what if you're not going to be Baptist or Christian, try Tao, try Buddha, try Allah, try somebody, but don't not feed your soul. What's wrong with them? That's why I think a lot of people have problems around the holidays, and you can like that lady, my friend. She said, "I don't care. You gonna come?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll think about it." And I did it, and I'm glad I did it. I felt proud of me, and I felt like my mom would have been proud of me. It was a tradition, you know, and I'm glad I did it because that's what she taught me. And if you can't make it to church, open up the Bible, read a verse, look up the definition, and pray. If you can make it, make it. If you don't like a certain church, go find another one. I try to fellowship once a month. Every Sunday, I can't. I'm busy. I'm working. You know, I don't feel bad. I don't feel like I'm a sinner. I don't feel like I'm going to hell. I don't feel like I broke a rule because number one, I'm Taoist. Number two, I've been to every Baptist, every Catholic, everything on planet Earth until the day I die. I'm good. I'm full. I don't subscribe to to the point where I feel bad if I don't do something. That ain't me. But I like when people do get up, go to church. I like when people do sing in the choir. I like when people do fellowship. I like when people do go to events and you know and invite me. I'll come because number one, I was invited. Number two, there's a reason. Number three, I want to get some of that good to feed my soul as well. Now let's go back to where you go, right? And we got what, four websites, one, two, three, four after this, and then we're done. The physical place. Because let's just say you're setting a scene or drawing a picture or writing about it in a book or a, a shooting a scene. You have to think about the place, right? And there, I thought it was just interesting when you put in what is the right side of a church called, and it's called the epistle side. Isn't that interesting? In the liturgical traditions of Western Christianity, the epistle side is the term used to designate the side of a church on which the epistle is read during a church service. It is the right handed side of the chancel as viewed by the congregation from the nave. Okay, so when you go to the images, it's going to give you all kind of goodness. Okay, all kind of goodness, because that's how I do it over here. And if you're new here to the channel, welcome. If you're new to a word of worship, welcome. The playlist is in the description box and it's down in over around on the community tab. Why is my phone acting crazy? I know y'all hear me. I know y'all hear me, but my phone is acting nuts. Okay. Let me do something. Give me a second. Okay. There we go. All right. So I love studying structure. Oh, there you go. Ooh, that was weird. Okay. And I love going into churches. Places of worship are nice. I like it. I love fellowshipping with other human beings. And it's also a tradition, no matter what the religion. The human experience, people built this with their hand, whether it was modern time, whether it was ancient time, whether it was far away, whether it was around the corner. When you see a church where people go to participate, to worship, a culture like the Mayans, you know appreciate that. They built a structure to what? To fellowship, to talk about the tradition of the writings of their beliefs. That's why I opened up with the definitions. If humankind built the place, I think it's pretty special. I think it's pretty awesome. That's why creatives like myself, we can get into paintings, we can get into poetry, we can get into film, photography, we can get into scripts. That's why architects are important, right? From the builders are important, the craftsmen and women are important. They go together, is what I'm trying to say. You can't have one without the other. And after the event, I walked by a church and I saw the beautiful stained glass. I stop and I appreciate it. Okay. So, sorry, not sorry. They go together, whether you like it or not. They do need to travel more. They absolutely do need to travel more. I can't even deal. So even though I can read the Bible at home, even though I can fellowship at home, even though I can look in YouTube and do all of that, sorry, once a month I gotta get in there and I gotta feel the whole experience. I don't know about you, but I've been to cathedrals, I've been to mosques, I've been to you know, God, all kinds of religious buildings. I need to feel the whole experience. From Jewish to Baptist to Lutheran to Catholic to all of it. Try it. It just feeds your soul. Sorry. And each part of the church has a meaning. To me, it's just overwhelming. It's overwhelming. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Like when you go to Europe, when we were stationed in Germany, these churches were like, 600 years old. It's like, wow. So I hate when people say, well, I don't go to church. Oh, that's fine. But try it once a month and you'll feel a little better, just a little better. Or I don't like that religion. Well, don't go on a Sunday. It's a lot of Catholic church in San Francisco's. The doors will just be wide open. You can just go in there and sit. Just go in there and sit for 10 minutes. It's just an experience, and no matter what your purpose for being there, it's amazing. In Europe, they have tourists that go into churches, right? Artists, designers, decorators. We do all kinds of things over here on my page. I ain't gonna leave that out. So take a peek and be overwhelmed like I am. I get overwhelmed sometimes. I'm like, let me get out of here before these people kick me out. So yeah. And then they'll have, plaques on it to a lot. Some of them are what do they call them? Historical landmarks and things. They, with the states and the cities, they get special recognition because they've been there so long. Every time I go to Detroit, Michigan, I go to St. Cecilia Church because it's just so beautiful to me, right? It's like a cathedral. I made sure I took my Polish Bob there because he was like, that's the closest thing I've ever seen in America to a European church. I was like, yeah, it's beautiful, you know. So let's do these webbies and we're out. Any questions? Look, I didn't mean for it to last this long, but it's good, good. I can't help it. I can talk about it all day long from these points of views. It doesn't have to be all Bible-y and thumpy and all of that. And ain't nothing wrong with that either. Okay. I'm not hating on nobody. So when you pull, this is down below in the description box. When you pull up Bible Hub, they give you all types of versions. To me, that's inclusive. And to me, it's a good thing. To me, it's giving you the opportunity to say, okay, I didn't like that what that one said, but I like, what is this? But I like what this one said. So there's different versions. So here, American Standard Version. We're still talking about the same verse. The American Standard Version says, "Take heed, lest thee shall be any one that maketh spoil of you through his philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of man, after the rudiments of the world, and not for Christ." They just have different ways of putting the same thing. That's fine, but it's still the core message. And then they give you other things over here, as you can see. Let me go back at the top. See? Colossians 28. So that's down below. There's another one. Give me a second. My computer is jittery. Okay, Net Bible says, be careful not to allow anyone to captivate you through an empty, deceitful philosophy that is according to human traditions and the elemental spirits of the world, and not according to Christ. You know why they say that? Because times change. Times change. Yeah, time and times do change. Churches have changed, but you're so in your spirit, and they didn't want you to get um sidetracked from the original message. I think that's brilliant. I really do. Sorry. I'm doing something at the same time. Okay, here we go. You could just walk in and sit and be quiet and think without other people. Nobody will bother you. I've done that so many times, y'all don't even know. So, for the folks who say, well, I don't like to go to church on Sunday, you don't have to go to church on Sunday. Like Rico and I said, just go in and sit. Take your Bible or whatever you want to meditate on. And most of them have the Bibles there or whatever. If it's a Lutheran church, it'll be their version and or whatever, Catholic or whatever. Synagogues will have the, Torah, or whatever. Well, I've never seen a synagogue with wide open, but every once in a while I will. I'm nosy. And then I'll ask, can I just come sit? And they'll go, absolutely, welcome. And they won't even mind me. I'll just be in the back. They might be rehearsing for a bar mitzvah or a wedding or something. I don't care. I'm nosy. I want in. I find such peace in these buildings. That's why I brought that part in here. Even if you're struggling with messages or life or purpose, family, friends, members in a household, you can go and find some peace. And then you can say, oh, I remember what Deirdre said. That's the epistle side of the church. That's the nave. Oh, let me look it up again. Oh, that's where they talk about this. Oh, that's the pulpit. Just 10, 15 minutes. Just relax your mind. I'm telling you, it was built for that. Partake. Because sometimes, to be honest with you, people get on my nerves. I don't do church like that. No, ma'am. I've been there, done that. I don't need the gathering of the people and the that's and the this. I don't need that no more. I'm past that. I am. I'm sorry, not sorry whether people like it or not. But I need to get in there. I do. I need to get in that space. And I encourage people to do that. Especially, why am I bringing this a week before Christmas? Because people are struggling. They're lonely. They are broken. They're sad. They're depressed. They're in pain. They're in need. Go find a church, boo boo. Just go. That's right. Just go. Me and Rico go come get you. Just go. Churches feed. They have programs. They have clothes. They find jobs. Go there when nobody else is around, because some people are shy. They don't want other people to know, I need some food. Right? Right? Get in a car and go. They got services for seniors. They got preschool programs. They got all kind of stuff. They usually have an office, where there'll be a secretary there or whatever. Google it. They got websites. They got phone numbers. They got voicemails. You can leave stuff. I don't want to hear no heart of gold out there saying that I ain't had nowhere to go. No, ma'am. You can go tomorrow afternoon. Boo boo. No, ma'am. We're not doing that, Rika. We ain't doing it. Because it's a tradition. Religion is a tradition. Church is a tradition. Caring for each other is a tradition. Culture is also a tradition. They go hand in hand. But sitting back talking about you ain't got nothing and nowhere to go. No, ma'am. Now you're lying. Now you just lied on Gigi Darling because I'm making a video and I'm telling you, you got somewhere to go. I'm not messing with them. Ain't nobody be hungry. No, ma'am. No, sir. Don't even try me. That's why I'm a mess. That's why I can't be dealing with certain somebodies and religions because I'm just too much. They can't handle it. Yeah, we're going to get attacked by ads, y'all. It is what it is. Now, when you pull this up, bible.knowing-jesus.com, because that's all Jesus was trying to do is just to help you. That's all he was trying to do. Jesus didn't say become a Christian because he wasn't even a Christian, okay? He was just trying to say, hey, here it is. Let's feed the soul. That's all he was trying to do. Excuse after excuse. It's like, well, what's going to happen? What's the tradition? What's the culture? What you gonna do? Sit in a corner and cry? What's wrong with you? I'm going to Chinese events. What's your excuse? Are you okay? And this is down below. Hello. How you doing? Let me jump down. Right? Do I need a PPP loan for church? Tutti fruity in the house. People who need loans probably need to stop spending money. A loan is for money, or organize their cost and stop spending and hire an accountant. No, ma'am, we don't need a PP loan for church. Tutti fruity in the house. We love everybody over here. So when you pull this one up, it gives you more verses. So miss me. You don't have to just look at the one. There's plenty. There's no excuse. Look at the picture. Yep, everybody getting together. Everybody, gathering over there, and there's a free trial over there. They're looking. Oh, look at her, Bernice. Okay, but yeah, there no more excuses. We ain't taking no. You okay? We ain't taking no excuses for 22. I'ma have an answer for all of y'all. See, the youngest is 7. Sometime I had to answer 6 people in one day, and I did it. What's this? Okay, that. Oh, you this? Oh, you next? What you got to say? Oh, you asked me a question? Okay, it's over there. I was ready. I can do this. I'm not scared. Scared of who? You good. It's called funny. Yeah, I can do funny too. See, I'm doing funny, and we're talking about Jesus. Okay, Jesus. So yeah, give it a break. Cut it out. Look, Rika, that you ain't gonna do me. You ain't gonna do me. And after you sit in your church or your synagogue or your whatever mosque, and you're gonna come back home, you're gonna click that link down below, and you're gonna read all of these. Oh, look at this one, Matthews 15:2. Why do your disciples break the tradition of the elders? For they do not wash their hands when they eat bread. Oh, they had okay. That old nasty clap back. I say that was we washing our hands during the pandemic. Okay, we didn't do it before, but now we're doing it now. Oh yeah, I'll break it down like that. And no, I ain't nobody's preacher. I ain't nobody's pastor. I ain't better than nobody. I'm just saying I can read through the lines and get what they were saying. Think about it. As humankind developed, Oh, they wasn't washing no hands. They was ripping stuff apart. They was dirty. They was dying at 32. We got better. We lived longer. We lived healthier lives. Health as well. So, I mean, really, it's not breaking tradition. It's washing your hands. Okay. Sometimes it's exhausting though. It's that easy for me. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It really isn't. And this is a good one, BibleRef.com. I like this one. This is more where people can compare parable verses, something similar. Okay. And different words, right? And then they talk about what it means. Jesus came to set captives free. That's it. Not to leave people in spiritual chains. Okay. Paul personally dealt with sin, seeking to make him captive. Exactly. They were trying to get at him, yet fought against every evil thought to make it captive to Christ. He was trying to change, he was trying to pivot. That's my word. Paul refers to empty deceit. This would include hollow rhetoric and outright lies. Okay? Are you with me today? Okay, yeah, I needed that one today. Yeah, I don't pay attention to empty deceit and outright lies. You got yeah. Oh, I needed that today. So I'm full. I'm full. I hope you full. So this is down below for y'all. Paul also refers to human tradition, reminding the reader that simply because an idea is referred to or historical does not make it true. So be careful. And then they talk about this implies the laws, rules, or handed down regulations of humanity. Paul wants the Colossians or Colossians or whatever. I've heard people pronounce it so many times. I'm like, whatever. And all believers to focus on truth and on Christ, not on trickery, a boo boo, and human preference. No, ma'am. You need to do it like me. You need to come over here. You need to follow them. You ain't got nothing going on. Come over here. No, ma'am. Not on trickery and human preference. And I said foolery. They didn't because they're nicer than Gigi. Yeah, No, I'm good. I come and go where I want to and how often and why. And last but not least, yeah, because I don't want nobody sitting around town the next 6, 7 days. Uh, 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 empty. Nope. I want you as full as I am. When I come on here and click live, no matter what I'm doing, I'm full. And I'm going to put this one in the chat. I'm full. And I'm starting to recognize people who are not full. That's not my fault or my problem, but I can demonstrate and I can provide. If you watching me on a device, I know you can use that device to click that because you can get full just on this Christian Bible studies right here. And it talks about audience, women, men, singles, teenagers, seniors, new believers, young adults. It talks about studies, spiritual formation, get information, okay, marriage, ebooks, single session. It talks about Bible book studies, new, old, life guide, um, uh, apocalyptic, general letters, gospels. Or I guess I should move it up here. Sorry. Wisdom, law, narrative. It talks about overcoming sin, theology, worship, marriage and family, ethics, outreach, culture. Like when you sit in that church and you need some food, If you see the nun or whoever, they walk, they slick with it because you'll sit there and they'll come out and walk by. Ask them a question. That's God trying to tell you something. He on his job or her on her job, and they see you sitting out there. And they people, I've gone in, and some people be wailing, crying. Maybe they a best friend died. I don't know. And they'll walk. They'll leave you alone. But when you call on them, they're there. They'll come sit next to you. Outreach, culture. Okay. And holidays. How does culture affect the way we understand scripture? And it's a great read. A me centered approach. Okay. Clearly, our experiences shape our reading of the Bible. We are all wearing tinted glasses. Yeah, we do. Ain't nobody perfect, but we do. I try to stay as open as possible. Then I give it about 5, 10 minutes and I go, oh, okay, okay, okay. Let's get back on track. Because we ain't going to base nothing. We ain't going to be blaming Christ. That's almost like blaming him for his death. That's almost like saying what he had went through didn't matter. That's almost like saying this church don't matter. That's almost like saying the people who come and worship in this church don't matter. No, you didn't go on off the deep end. I ain't going to be wasting my time. So let's focus. So I'm willing to take off my glasses, my tinted glasses, if you are, and let's get back on track. Because you're going, it's a bit merch. Now you're in the realms of blasphemy, and I ain't going. I don't even care if I ain't Christian. I ain't doing that. Karma's the thing. Okay, be careful. And then it says lenses that help us to see some things very clearly, but distort our vision elsewhere. Be careful. And that's a good, just read it. That's all I'm saying. Just read it. It's there for you. And then it says, second, and perhaps more seriously, a me centered approach to the Bible confuses application with meaning. So just be careful. Give it a chance. Feel the happy, feel the warmth. No, get the meaning and understand it. You don't have to adopt it. I went to a whole Chinese situation and I still ain't Chinese. Okay. Are you okay? It's fellowship. So that's down below for you and yours. And yeah, that's it. That's all. That's what a word of worship has been about so far. And that's what it's still gonna be. We're just gonna change it up just a little. Just a little change. Just a little change. Y'all like that old nasty picture of that Bernice. Bernice, you had pharaohs or kings in Egypt, and Bernices were the queens. And that's a Bernice on a gold coin. Get into that. Yes. Go write in a epistle. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just saying, now that you know what these things are, embrace it. I'm full. That's it. That's all. I'm full, and I want it part of my channel. I want it a part of my who, what, where, and when. That's what I say on my channel, and Clash Culture is about. And I wanted to talk about that right before the holiday, because people think they're left out. People think they're excluded, and you're not. I'm like, how? How many more verses do you need? And you ain't excluded from nowhere. It's for everybody. Are you okay? Feel good that it's out there. The good news is you pick it up, go with it. Find what you can accept and not. But you can't trash it, because millions and millions and millions of people are celebrating a tradition, a Christmas. They're engaged. They are on it, in it. You don't have to buy a lot of stuff. You don't have to um spend a lot of money. You don't have to go in debt to know that we're celebrating the birth of a man that became a martyr, and we're still talking about today. And there was a whole theology, Christianity, built around his teaching. That's a good thing. To me, that's a good thing, and nobody will be able to dispel that. I don't care. Be careful what you put down and want people to pick up. Yeah. That's why I like that verse. Be careful because it's already in place. Why are you trying to tear it down? Why are you trying to take something that's meant for good to fill your soul, to uh give your mind some food and thought, and to fellowship? You and I, we maybe we can't join each other on fashion. Yeah, me and Rico, I'm gonna put some scenarios out there. We don't like each other's fashion. We don't like each other's food. We don't like each other's a car. We don't like where you work. You don't like where I work. You don't like my friends. I don't like your friends. But once a week, we can come together in fellowship and talk about this or that. That to me, that's what Christianity is. That's what Christmas is. That's what a word of worship is. We can come together and just discuss and apply it. That's it. That's all. Right? So yeah, I got oh yeah, I know. I was like, what are you doing? Okay, yeah, put it over here, boo boo. Gemini, full moon things. Take the cleansing bath. Yes. Okay. CBD oil your body. Make love to the moon and release all the BS that no longer serves you, boo. And ain't nobody, especially if you're hard to go, gonna say you're lonely this week. You may be alone in a room, but you can't be lonely when you can go out to events. You can go to gathering. Like I said, I mean, this they were packed like pre-pandemic. I was like, oh, okay, I'm here. I had my mask on, and it was some of them didn't have masks, and I was like, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, but I was there. It's time to gather. It's time to fellowship. Find something, call around, ask, go out to a local, not a dive, but nasty establishment. You might sit at the bar on your own, but I guarantee you, in about 30 minutes, somebody's going to reach out and talk to you, or it's just some live music. Go sit on Santa's lap. Go take your kids to get pictures with Santa Clauses. Go to, if you can't afford a 4-star, go to Mickey D's, get you some, make sure them French fries is fresh. Don't get the ones they've been sitting under there for 20 minutes. No, ma'am. Go do something. Don't be, and if you are sad because a loved one is lost, like my mom, I hate the holidays without her, but I'll do something, a tradition or something she taught me, and I feel better each and every time. And she would have been right up there sitting next to me with some chopsticks in her ponytail. Oh yeah, that's how she did. She got into it because she was a teacher. She was like, if I'm over here, we're gonna dress like this. If I'm over here, we're gonna wear this color. She was all into it, and that's what I am too. So I encourage y'all to do the same. Now, next Sunday is the day after Christmas, right? I think I'm opening up my calendar right now. So I'm going to do another. It's going to be the last a word of worship in this style of it. Last of the year. Yeah. Kwanzaa is next Sunday. So hold on. Yeah, we get to celebrate Kwanzaa. So we're going to do the last word of worship like this, and then I'll do a Kwanzaa. But yeah, it's the 19th. Shout out to the future and beyond. Thank you for watching. But Friday the 24th is Christmas Eve, and Saturday is Christmas Day. Based on my plans, I'll still come live. Okay. Thank y'all. We got football on. We got all types of things going on. Enjoy YouTube. I'll be back later tonight. Hit all the reminder buttons, boo-boos. And thank you. I enjoyed this one. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, I could talk about it all day. From a any aspect. It don't bother me at all. And it's not judgy. I do not like people judging someone else. The lying and the deceit and all of that. Oh, okay. Ooh, but I'm talking about your real soul, your real desires, your real essence, your feelings, your purpose. People are lonely and sad and depressed and don't got no love and all of that. Well, this is a good start. Open up a Bible, open up Gigi Darling's A Word of Worship playlist, and start filling yourself up, because another human can't do it. They just can't do it. You have to partake in it. It just don't work that way. That's why a lot of people sort of kind of fall to the wayside, or they get mad or angry, and they do all kind of despicable things, and they get in trouble, and they're not satisfied with this or that, and they cause harm to other people because they just out of control. It's like, find some peace, be still, be careful, find that church, right, Rika, and sit down, be still. That's it. That's all. All right. Love y'all. I'll see you soon. Hit all those reminder buttons. It's going to be a fun week. Be careful. Okay. Bye.